world is crowded, it's true. Only champions stand out. Will it be you? Tools, systems, knowledge in your hand. Become a champion of your real estate brand. The journey starts here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? The journey starts here. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hey everybody, today we are pulling some comparables and I am here in the Indianapolis real estate market. So we are going to be using MyBore. That will be the system that we have to dive into. So let's share our screen and dive in. So first things first, you want to go ahead and log into MyBore on our BLC, our MLS is what we have here. You'll be able to, once you log in, you'll have these icons. These are great icons to use because MyBore is giving us tons of information. The far one on the right here, this is MyBore Market Insights. This is wonderful to keep current with other stats, what's going on currently in the market. You could break it down by counties, just really specific areas, which is really good. And you could either post videos or you could just inform clients of what's truly happening in today's market. So you are the right now realtor. So that's this far right link. Also, we have the public record. So before you start pulling comps, I suggest that you go to the public record. If you know your client's name that's going to list, you can go ahead and put that in here. If you have the address, you can just type that in. We're going to use this one here, Wexford Hill Court. Now this is more on the listing side just yet. It'll tie into comparables for both buyers and sellers. So we're going to dive into all that stuff. So what you see is you've got the public record. This is what it is. So it gives you the address. It talks about the county. Sometimes the subdivisions in there. Square footage, 6,060. On the other side, talks who your owners are and then also their mailing address. So what this says is that they're probably snowbirds. They come up here for the summer and then they're down in Florida during the winter, possibly. Great conversation to have to figure that out. It's got so much information on here that you could check it out. So just dive in. It talks about the tax years. So $25,000 a year they're paying in taxes. The mortgage history listed here as well. So all this is to get familiar with. What I like when I'm doing comparables, this is huge because now you could look at a 2018 build. This one's 4-bedroom, 5.5 baths. So it's 7 rooms total. So 6,060 square feet, lots of floor. Breaks it down here, 3,000 on the first floor, 75. I don't know why it says 75, 34 on the base area. That's probably the outside area. And then you've got a basement as well. Counting for all that makes a huge difference. So that way we want to search for homes with a basement. We want similarities in bedrooms. We want similarities in bathrooms. All right. This is, again, focusing on a listing so you could come up with the right pricing for that listing. So once you've got that information, I usually print it and keep it in a folder. I have everything organized for my listing. So now that you have figured that out, got that section and you've gotten some information there about the house itself. Now we are going to use that information to dive into what's selling in that area around there. So what I've done here, I've gone to the search tab up top. I hover over it. I click, or I don't even click, I hover over general, and then that opens up the box of residential. I then click that. Once you click residential, this page opens up. And now you're getting one step closer to your comps. And this is great for either the listing side or the buying side. I pull comps the same way. First thing I do, I'm going to go ahead and click active, pending, and sold. Sold is automatically 180 days, which is over the last 6 months. We want comps to be 6 months of inventory. That is what a normal market is. That is what an appraiser is going to go back and look at 6 months of inventory. So if need be, all right. Now, an appraiser is also going to look for what is selling right now, but they will go back as far as 6 months. So keep that in mind when you're explaining that to your clients. So now, as we have this, I like to click on the for sale. That way it just eliminates any leases. And then we've got all that stuff. All right. Here's the difference. Now, right now I've got 27,000 matches. I do not want 27,000 listings to go through, right? So we're going to click on this. Click here to draw or select boundaries. All right. Whether it's a listing or a buy side, again, this is going to be same on both sides. This is just taking a minute to get everything. So now I want to take my cursor over to the center on tab. Center on. It's going to click on that, and now you could put that address. All right. So if you're looking for a buyer and they're interested in a property, you could put that in here. If it's the seller, this is the subject property. So now it's not populated. So I'm going to hit Westfield. I'm going to go all the way, and then I'm going to hit enter. Let's see what we got. All right, it populated. It's around the corner. Now I like to go over and do a hybrid model, but I like to see it a little bit better. All right. So if you see, this is kind of hard to see right now, blue and an X right there. So that is, I'm going to zoom in. There's our subject property. When you look at this, green means active. Green is on the market. Now, if you forget, that's okay. You click it and look it. It says right there, green, active. Cool. It also gives you 4 bedroom, 4.5 bath, 42 square feet. It gives you details. You click this link and it goes to the MLS. So now you can pull it up. All right. We've got 1.9 million over here, 6 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms, 6 bath, 5180. All right. We've got a 1.3. So this is black. Oops, I zoomed in. Sorry about that. This is black. So this means that it is sold. Right. So this is an actual comp. Actives are great to talk about for your clients. Solds are what are active and used as comps. Now, a blue down here, that means it's currently under contract. It's pending. All right. So this could close by the time you have your offer in and close or have the appraisal piece there, which then would be a comparable. So something like this, if this fits your needs, which it's pretty close, you may want to call the agent and say, hey, I know you have a listing over at 823 Old Ashbury. Have you guys gotten past the appraisal part yet? And they say, yes, we have. Great. Did everything appraise fine? Yes, it did. Great. Thank you. I'm getting ready to list a house just down the street, or my clients are getting ready to buy a house down the street. And I wanted to know if your listing was going to be one of our comparables, which it sounds like it very well could be. So, congratulations on your pending transaction. I wish you luck and I look forward to working with you in the future. Leave it like that. All right. Then you could use that. All right. So then we've got a couple more. 1.4. It looks like it's closed 6 bed, 57 and 19. All right, 6. All right. So here's the thing. Remember, we went back to the public record. It was a 4 bed, 6 bath, or what was that? I might be wrong on my numbers. 4 bed, 5.5 bath. All right, 6,000 square foot. That's what I'm looking at. So 6 bed, 5.5, not the square footage. So it's close. I'm going to mark it. So I want to take it into consideration. 6 beds, 4.5 bath. It's got 2 more bedrooms than what I'm looking, but the square foot is only 100 off. So let's keep that one. All right. And I want to come closer. I might mark these because you know why? Our client may have seen them or just curious about them. They're not going to play factor. I'm going to put this one's under contract. So I'm clicking these and then I want to do one more. Let's see. It's a little smaller I want. So normally we want 3 comps that are the black color. The pending works, but that's a blue, and the green works, which is active. They're not active comps, but they're good to inform and talk about. Here's a 1.4 million. Let's see what this one is. 5 bedrooms, 5.8. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Let's do that one. All right. So if that's the case, then you got to look that, hey, you got to zoom out a little bit. All right. We're still in the neighborhood somewhat. We're a little bit off the path. Here we are over here, but that's okay. An appraiser is going to zoom out and do a radius. So don't be afraid to do that. And especially in different areas, if you're in Indianapolis or wherever, it's going to vary. So pay attention on that. So then we've got 3 comps. Now, if you don't have 3 comps and you've got something that's a 4 bedroom or something, now you can start deducting saying, hey, to fix up a room, or, maybe $25,000. So that way you could adjust like an appraiser would and say, hey, I've got a 2 bedroom, but my house is 3 bedroom. All right, cool. Well, add $25,000 and then that could possibly do a bedroom. Or if it's a 4 bedroom comp and you've got that 3 bedroom buy, cool. Take away $25,000 because that's one extra bedroom. You see what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. But so now, once you get this, you want to go ahead and show your list. I move it over because everything shrinks a little bit. All right. So now with the ones that you marked, so this one unchecked as it moved over, so you got to be careful. All right, we've got 4 here. That's all right. We'll leave those. More's merit. More's good. I try not to go more than 5, and I'll tell you why here in a second. So here we go. Here's these, and you could look as I hover those. They're going to highlight where they are on my map, which is super cool. But here's what we want to do. Look at these icons at the top. This one with the graph, the L and the squiggly line, this is what we want to do because this is going to give us our, let me open this a little larger. So what this did, the ones that I clicked, you see the 2 active, I click those. The 1 pending, I click those. The 4 solds, I click those. All right. This is going to give us our numbers. So as far as active comps, these are our stats. As far as pending comps, these are our stats in the middle. Now we only have 1, so it's going to be a little biased. And then as far as sold, which are true comparables for an appraiser to use, and that this is the market data that we're doing, use this stuff right in here. So this is your average. So look at days on the market. You've got an average 73. If your client is anticipating to sell in 30 days, not going to happen. If your client's anticipating to buy in 30 days, possibly, but homes are sitting on the market. If they're concerned, saying, oh, well, this has been on the market 20 days, I don't know if we should buy it. It's normal because it's 73 days on the market in this particular area. That's what we're focused on. You also get an average price, all right? Everything's broken down. So now you could say this is about 1.5 million. If you go ahead and talk about this to your clients and they wanted to come in as a buyer and offer 900,000, we're way off. All right, let's dissect that. Why do you want to do 900,000? So we've got to ask those questions because the numbers aren't going to lie. And that's where we're always going to lean on numbers in real estate because they don't lie. We're here to show them the facts of what's truly selling, especially with these 4 homes in this area. These are what's selling. So I print this and then I bring this over to when I meet the clients as well. And then I go over hey, here's what we have on the listing side. I'll go over it with them in person as well. And I want to make sure that they're aware of what's selling in their neighborhood. Here are the facts. All right. These are the ones that compare to your size. And now if they said, oh, well, the one down the street sold for, $4 million. Great. That was also 15,000 square feet, double your size. So that's where you want to be aware of what else is in that neighborhood and say, what are we looking at? What's going on here? All right, cool. Oh, yeah, that is available, but it's twice as big. So that's why they're asking twice the amount of money, maybe even 4 times the amount of money, whatever it is. It's all those amenities tied together. All right. So this way, I now have an average about 1.5. Let's just call it that for easiness. And again, we could strategize from there. So as your client, as a buyer, wants to put in an offer and you've went ahead and talked about the comparables that you just had, you could also print those off if you need to, but I usually just take my computer and show it. That way I save a lot of ink. But then I'm going to talk to them. All right, guys. Hey, I'm excited you love the house. It's listed for 1.9 million. Comps in the area are about a 1.5, depending on the days on the market. So much stuff goes into offer. Go through it with them. When you do the market analysis of what's going on in the area and you're getting information about whether it's like this is Westfield, Hamilton County, what are the days on the market? What is the amount of inventory? What are those numbers? And those are great to talk to your clients because if they're again coming in at 900,000, that's not going to be a great offer. I want you to be strong and I want you to be a strong buyer. This is not the style of market to lowball people. If they insist, we can just let them know that very good chance that it can get rejected. And if it does, where does that leave us? Have that conversation. Go there. That's what we do as realtors. All right. So now that you have numbers, you could have that conversation with your clients and say, I believe we could go ahead and ask for XYZ. Now, depending on the house, we've also got home warranty. You also want to talk about the buyer's commission. If you're representing the buyer, is the seller paying for that? Let's talk about that whole big picture because that is the next topic. Negotiating that purchase agreement and having a smart, strategic conversation with your buyers. Thanks for watching on how to do comps. Hope this helps, and let's go sell more homes and become more champions.
ask, just stay. Just ask, just stay. You should just ask, just stay. Just ask, just stay. You should just ask, just stay. You should just ask, just stay. You need a new place, you need some new space. You need a new place, you need some